recently we have seen the rise in popularity of separatist parties throughout Europe, such as UKIP in the UK or the National Front in France, etc. And I was just wondering if this may destabilise the unity we have experienced in the EU over the past years.
With the situation in Ukraine going on, how does the European Union plan to defend itself from outside threats?
Do you believe that the European Parliament is in touch with its population, bearing in mind most people do not know who the President of the European Parliament is, or even who their MEP is?
Ne pensez-vous pas que, à cause du terrorisme,
Don't you think that because of terrorism, Europe is weaker, and this might lead to conflicts between the member states?
We were wondering that since the European Union is striving for unity, how it's possible that there is such a big difference in education between different members of the European Union, since education is a very important aspect.
We've been talking a lot about Greece in the media lately, and I was wondering what would be the consequences if Greece leaves the European Union as far as the euro value is concerned.
There are some disequalities between men and women in some countries, like salaries in the work market. Do you think this is an issue to be debated in our union, and it is possible to create a law, a common law, to solve this problem?
As we've seen from past history, what we now call the European Union started off as an economic union. My question is, what is the Union afraid of? I mean, isn't it a greater union that will lead us to a better future?
Once the European Union started as a community of very little countries, and it's grown bigger and bigger, and still every country has its own background, cultural differences, and also different things that they want to happen in the European Union. But now we see the movement of people going out and people wanting in, and doesn't that change aims of the European Union? And if it does, in what ways does it change the European Union?
I'd like to know what Europe is doing for violence against women.
I want to ask you, why did the European Union keep a different approach in the case of the Turkish invasion in Cyprus than in the situation in Ukraine? Thank you.
I want to know that during last 2 and 3 years in Italy there was an immigrant emergency, and in my own opinion, and I would like to underline that it's only mine, Europe have closed the door of countries that have rejected the immigrants. So, thinking about the actual situation of Africa and Asia, which will be the European behavior, the last one or not?
I have a question regarding the terrorist attacks. I mean, don't you think Europe is way too passive in its actions? In the context of racial acceptance and social acceptance, especially in the northern countries, where do you think we could draw the line between religion and pure violence and aggression?
In today's European reality, the principle of state continuity is in effect. According to this principle, political decisions and treaties between states aren't revoked in the case of even a violent change in government, but remain valid, a principle that the European Union calls upon, asking the newly elected Greek government to abide by the agreements of the former government. So, if all this holds true, then why financially robust Germany not continue to pay back the installments of the war loan that forced impoverished Greece to give in 1942?
I've heard that there's an ongoing discussion between USA and the EU and about a new trading agreement called the TTIP agreement, And I heard that this has a very big impact on the countries in the EU. I would just like to know what does it contain and how will it influence USA and EU?